Okay, now let's talk about Manchester United.
My man Eric. My man Eric.
Despite the poor results, he's still your man.
It's my man.
You know,
there's one thing I know. A tactician would not. You don't just come to Man U and suddenly forget how to do tactics. You don't just come to Man U and suddenly forget how to coach. No. The last mistake I made was Ole. And I've crossed my heart. I'm not making that mistake again. I think I caught myself joining the bandwagon to scream Ole out. I was more emotional than whatever. But right now, I'm refusing to. I'm choosing to be rational. If Eric believes if he gets sacked or whatever, I don't care. But as long as he is the Manchester United coach, I'm happy with him. I'm confident with him. You know, Rooney's the honorary Premier League legendary something 2 nights ago. Was it 2 nights or last night? You heard Rooney's comment. He said, "Look, as bad as results are, you may want to blame the coach. For him, the players have to rise because he's not seeing the players rise." So this is a proper footballer speaking. I'm sure from his experience, he knows what he's saying. You can see it. Some of this, and that's why Roy Keane has been saying for the last 11 years that the players are the problem.
Well, wait. If you look at it now, let's look at it this way now. If you say the players are the problem, 70% of the players at Manchester United were signed.
No. I'm not saying the players. Look, I'm not saying at the moment. Don't get what I'm saying. I'm like over a stretch. But I think right now it's about Eric. I think the pressure is too much. So much that did you see the amount of exchanges he was having with Van Nistelrooy during it was seeming like a heated argument. But I want to believe they were discussing tactics and something like that. But they were so into it. So that tells you that these guys are willing to make this thing happen. They were so into it. And people are saying the result at Aston Villa. Yes, we should go to Aston Villa and win. But sadly, like I said from my last time you had me on the show, look, we have to accept where we are. And where we are as a club at this point is where we should be okay if we don't lose a game. We should be happy that we don't lose a game. You and I agree that the best way to start solving this our issue is to solidify our backline, the middle and the backline. Get it tight again. Go a stretch of 5-7 games without losing and maybe conceding in only 2 of those games. And then from there, you build the confidence and you progress to the next phase of football, which is the attacking football. I don't doubt the qualities in our attackers. Another thing I want to hope that he will do is, you see all these looking for perfect pairings. No, these guys, they have to be a team. He should find a way to get these guys function as a team, such that if, let's say, Rashi is not starting and Ghana is starting there, or Ahmad is not starting, Anthony is starting there, or one comes in as a sub, you don't even observe the difference. Is Kase starting or Ugarte starting or Kobe and everything? You don't even know the difference. Are you playing Zexi as a 10 and having Bruno go as a deep line playmaker or whatever, and then starting also Højlund? You don't know the difference. If he's able to solidify the defensive part of that team and solve the defensive issues, and they progress into having a proper identity where they function as a unit. For me, I look at that Man U roster. Honestly, the clubs currently in Premier League that have the caliber of players that on paper would outclass that Man U team, they are not even up to 3. I'll be honest with you. If everybody in that
means if the roster is up to that level, that means this should be a coaching problem. So that's why people are calling for Eric's head.
I am saying
if the squad is good and they are not performing well, then that means the head is bad.
Hold on. I'm saying something, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've always, for the last Mourinho, 7.5 7.5 years, we've had decent players. We have very good players in that team. It's always about a balance between the coaches, the players, and the administration. I'm talking from above. So now, what I'm saying is, I'm not exonerating Eric. It is on him to get the best of those players. To make matters worse for him, he has spent well over 600 million in bringing his own players that he is so called familiar with from Ajax. So there is no exonerating Eric from this. But what I'm saying is, let us break this third season jinx. Break the fourth season jinx. Stick with this guy. Let's go as low as we can go and rise back from there. Enough of these drinks and repeat. I am maintaining it. Tuchel is not a better option.
Well, it was trending on Tuesday. Right? Yeah, that was yesterday, Tuesday. And you know, yesterday the executive sat down. Yeah, they had a meeting for like 7 hours.
7 hours?
And
yes.
Eric's name, I don't think Eric's name came up. And the media have been like, what are these guys discussing? They are just guessing, releasing fake reports and all those things that are. Are you shocked?
Look, I'm not shocked. If you are looking for a
but the meeting, people are thinking that, okay, this meeting, because of the results, we've not won a game since. United fans cannot remember when last they won a game. So people are thinking, okay, this guy's matter was going to be discussed properly or discussed, and okay, look at these replacements. And you know that Eric is not their guy. Eric is not their guy.
Just 3 months ago, they came out on the pressure to say they are backing the manager.
No, but you know Eric is not their guy.
And they gave him a new contract.
From the summer, we all knew that Eric was not their guy. Because Eric cannot be your guy and you go and be discussing with other managers.
Are you with me?
I'm with you. I said Eric cannot be your guy and you go and be discussing with other managers.
Just 3 months ago, look, you can't, if they sack Eric, is on them. It's even a worse way to start. I'm talking of the Avengers, the Ineos, group. It was just 3 months ago, July, that you said he's your man. After looking through a list of managers, you decided to stick with him, and not just sticking with him, award him with a contract extension that will see his contract get us up to 2026. Am I right? Yeah, 2026. 2026. So if you come out now, 3 months down to the line, and you say you want to back off, you want to sack him, so now get the people whom you said were not up to him 3 months ago. Because you obviously interviewed Tuchel. And you came to tell us that Tuchel was not, you didn't find him better than whom you had already. So for me, if they suddenly just come up and they say they're sacking this guy, and whatever they look, for me, yeah, you can say that this is Eric Ten Hag's third season, but I can comfortably tell you that this is his first season. This is why. Because this is the first time he's working with these new people. And they're trying to implement what they're doing. We can see it as his first season. But again, this is not me exonerating him, but I'm just saying the Ineos, if they're deciding to, if they come up today and they say they want to pull the plug and let Eric go, for me, it's a slap on them. That means they didn't do their due diligence. The supposed due diligence they are making the world believe that they did 3 months ago. They never did that. Because by sacking Eric, you are going back to a lesser person. Even by your own statement.
By leaving Eric, people have already said that they didn't do their work well. That's what people are ever saying now. That they didn't do their work well. People were thinking that Eric would have been sacked after the FA Cup, but they didn't sack him.
And that's what I'm saying.
Likes of Michael Owen and others are already saying
you can't then come just about 2 months into the season, and then you're saying you want to let him go because of 3 bad results. Bro, we know football. This might be Manchester United's, worst stats And Eric was even the one, the second worst start is also Eric's on Eric. Bro, and go from here and hit a 10-game, 12-game unbeaten streak. You never really know.
Do you see that in your heart of hearts? Do you see that happening?
In my heart of hearts, I don't see 11 happening, but I see a 5 to 7 happening. I don't see 11 happening, but I see a 5 to 7 happening. Don't just get beat. Don't just get beat. That's it. The moment you're able to go, we saw it with Ole. Don't just get beat. The moment you're able to string a couple of games together, a stretch, without getting beat. Some of the best managers we are mentioning today, how do they build their team? Not until clubs start season, you could say, okay, he had the identity. You saw what he wanted to play from day one. But not until his third season, it's not really a team like that, a formidable side.
Yeah, that's true.
The strategy for him was always don't just get beat. Guardiola, strategy, but it was until his second season. You remember all the Malanga, all those players. It was the whole strategy as at then was don't just get beat. Mangala or whatever. This other Brazilian guy that went through it. The other guy that went through it.
Danilo.
And so I tell you something, bro. I'm not even shitting you. There are a couple of my videos you have on record. Pep Guardiola with 600 million. In my view, we still not fix the problem. I'm telling you. This problem in Manchester United, bro, like the decay, the rot is beyond just the coaches, the managers, or whatever, trying to, beyond just singling out one person. It's a unit thing, it's a collective thing. Look, and I like, to be honest, I like the direction Ineos is going. I will still say it again. You see all those old heads, all those very old heads in Manchester United. Their Kitzman, all the chef, all those guys that they are sacking, the media guys, the head of media operation, whatever, that's been there for 25 and 24 years, all those guys that they have relieved of their job. I'm happy. Remember we were talking about this during the summer. I was in the Ineos group. I'll be very honest with you. I will sack not less than 45%, 30 to 45% of the staff. That anybody that has stayed anything 10 years, Baba, you have to go. If you are looking for a sweep, you have to sweep well. Because there are people who are benefiting from the rots. Those who are leaking news to the media, those who are leaking tactics and whatever, and game plans and whatever, to the media and to other club agents or whatever, or those who are coming to come and pass stupid news about the players and all that. Look, this thing, I am still saying this. This is beyond. You will sack Eric. You will bring a coach that is Tuchel, Mourinho, Wenger, Ferguson all in one. You will still not do this job. There needs a proper cleansing. And like I'm saying, in any Manchester United fan that wants to take off the skills, from their eyes and look at this thing critically, and don't just analyze football from the last 12 months, analyze Manchester United rather from the last 11 years. I think you will agree with me. Again, I'm not saying that Eric is without blame. I'm not saying the players are without blame. I'm not saying what's their name? The Glazer brothers are without blame. Everybody has something to do with this decay. And it's been 12 years, 11 heading on 12 years now.
Well, the way it's looking, these Ineos guys are not even. Well, I think Eric is still safe for now. From the way it's looking.
We don't have options. In your heart of heart, do you really think? Sorry, in your heart of heart, do you want to Tuchel in Old Trafford?
No. I don't really like, because the truth is that Tuchel made look at Tuchel made Bayern Munich look too like they were looking very, very dull. They were not looking like the Bayern Munich that we know.
It's not about Bayern Munich or whatever. His resume is there in PSG. His resume is there.
We know that he fights a lot with his board, but me, I'm even looking at his coaching on the pitch. But according to what
looking at his coaching, I'm not talking. That is not an upgrade to Manchester United. There are a lot of things. Look, an upgrade, a coach that has to be an upgrade to this guy. He has to be a bold, confident coach to face the media. You have to be a coach that's going to be bold and to face the media. They will not have his shoulder sagging when he's facing the media or when he's under pressure. He has to be a.
So you're talking about this thing?
Yeah, so I'm saying, I'm saying Tuchel is not an upgrade, honestly. Because if you're saying Manchester United right now, if you're bringing someone to replace Eric Ten Hag, you have to bring someone whom his shoulder is not going to sag in front of the media. A manager who, even when he's under pressure, he's going to be bold. Because I tell you something, Tottenham outclassed Manchester United. But throughout the last 2 weeks, the talk was nobody was looking Tottenham direction because Tottenham is not going to earn you money. Tottenham, the media is not going to earn you money. The talk, the whole media was, Man U was terrible. Eric Ten Hag this, the players start, Man U this, Man U ball, Ineos ball. That was the news. Nobody even talked about Tottenham that won 3-0. We played Liverpool, the same thing. Nobody talked about Liverpool. Nobody yield you money. If it's good, they will talk about Manchester United. If it's terrible, talk about Manchester. It's not so good, talk about Manchester United. Look, sadly, it is the biggest job in all of English football. If we want to have a coach to replace Eric Ten Hag, you need somebody whom, is tactically sound, good with the youth, because obviously that's the direction the club is, has set their head in youth. Average age of 23, according to them. You have to be someone who is bold, who is confident, who, when he's facing the media, he won't have his shoulder sagging. Because Manchester United is the biggest club in all of England. Man U loses 3-0 to Tottenham in Old Trafford. The news is not about how Tottenham played well. The entire media for the 1 week was talking about.
Do you feel Ten Hag lacks charisma?
Yeah, he does. He does. I don't think he's bold enough. Unpopular opinion for me, if you're letting Eric go, there is only one man that I need in that job, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If you're not bringing Ole, that's like, for me, you're not bringing.
You say he lacks charisma. Do you feel it's because he doesn't know how to speak well?
No, I think the pressure of the
I've seen his video. I've seen his videos when he was coaching Ajax, when he was speaking their local dialect. Man,
no, you don't compare Ajax to Manchester United. With all due respect to Ajax, you can't compare the Ajax to the pressure, of being an Ajax.
No, I'm looking at the communication. I'm looking at communication.
No, the communication could be an issue, but the communication and charisma are quite like, two distinct things, differences. The thing now is, he does. For me, I think he does lack the charisma of a Manchester United coach. Yeah, but I also think that the fact that he's not so fluent in his English language is also a thing, because all the gesticulations and all the when he's speaking, sometimes when communication is not fluent, not fluid, not free flowing, sometimes the right message is not entirely being passed down. You understand? But we've seen Goody Bean, like I'm talking Unai Emery. We've seen some, not so fluent English speaking managers come to England and have done well, have been able to cope. So I just think it's not. Yes, his communication can be a part of it all, but I just think that the pressure of that job is getting to him. The pressure of that job is getting to him. He's having to stay out longer hours in Carrington, not going home. He's having to come to the office very early. That's to tell you that he's barely even having good sleep.
Apart from the pressure, that's how he works.
I read
a lot about him when they signed him. when they sign him. That's how he works.
But,
He's
but
always working.
the thing I'll tell you is, if you look at Eric in Carrington, when you go and see the clips, the training sessions in Carrington, he's happier, he's bolder, he's more confident. You see him exuding life. But in the same Carrington, once he goes, to have his pressers, his briefing with the media, you notice a different Eric from the one that you were watching during the training session. I don't know if you've observed this thing.
Have you watched? Have you watched Eric on have you watched Eric any of Eric's interviews? One-on-one interviews, not with the press conference, not with the press rather, when he's doing his press conference.
Yeah, the one he does with Sky and MUTV.
He's different. He's a different person there.
He's a different person there. So I'm thinking maybe part of this whole thing could also be psychological. He's still, because they are saying it could be psychological for the players, but I'm also thinking it could be psychological for the manager also. I think he also needs that as an evaluation. He also needs that trainer, that guy who's going to put him through the whole media thing. Because that job, bro, I kid you not. Man U plays Tottenham, when Tottenham is on form, Man U is the news. Man U plays City, when City is on form, Man U is the news. Man City for the last 7 years have been excellent. But I tell you, they are still not half a news as Manchester United is. They're still not big of a deal. Bro, imagine if it was Manchester United that had the 150 count charge thing on them.
Wow. Sky Sports every day.
Come on, man. It's not even Manchester United literally doesn't even have any positive news for the last decade. But it's still the highest grossing news. Manchester United any Manchester United news remains the highest grossing whatever in any platform. Go on YouTube, bro. Go on YouTube. Before you will see one Tottenham or Chelsea or Man City, podcast or whatever, you have seen a lineup of Manchester United, whatever. I think after Manchester United, the next is Arsenal. Arsenal that has the next, hype in the media. They're not even talking Chelsea. They're not even talking Man City. They're not even talking, Liverpool.
Okay, so finally, let me just ask this question before we go. Now that Eric is safe, okay, we're not sure if he's safe, but we're expecting them to sack him on Tuesday, but they've not said anything. They've not said anything. But
for me, I never expected this.
What do you think that Eric needs to do to change things at Manchester United?
For me,
briefly, just make it snappy.
Yeah, first things first. First things first, he has to have a vulnerability meeting with the team. A meeting where everybody comes to say they had talk. I'm talking the coaches, the kidsman, the players, every one of them. They need that kind of a meeting. And I would suggest that kind of a meeting should be held in a non-footballing environment. You can go to a park, go somewhere, just have that kind of a meeting. Over glasses of beer and whatever, over some snack and that. Be good. Just pour it out. Say whatever you want to say. And everything stays there. And then when he gets back to Carrington, you should focus on not getting beats. Not really preparing the players just to defend, but just letting them understand that if you haven't scored, your opponent has no reason to score. And once you score, your opponent has no reason to score. Once he prepares them, gets them that happy, that vibe in everybody, even the least man on the pecking order, who sits at the far end of the bench, who may never even play the next 10 games, is happy and is supporting. I think that team is going to do excellently well. It starts with Eric, if you ask me. It starts with him, starts with Van Nistelrooy. And I think Van Nistelrooy is checking him now. I think Van Nistelrooy is from Porto. You saw Van Nistelrooy was carded in Porto. I think he received a yellow card in Porto. I think from that Porto game and then going to the Aston Villa game, I can now see that I think Van Nistelrooy is now like, oh boy, Baba, you have to. So I love that. I love that also I love that. I see that happening and I want more of that. So I think once they're able to do that meeting and they come and you explain clearly to the team what you're looking at. We are going to be attacking. We are going to play from rest to attack and back to rest. We're going to make ourselves difficult to play. When we want to be compact, we're going to be compact. Everybody sags in and we're compact. When we're going to attack, everybody attacks. And everybody's quick on their reverse gear. I think once you get that, look, all these things is about mood, really. These players are not terrible players. Neither are the coaches terrible coaches. It's basically just about mood. It's a thing of mood. And just it's about psych. So once you get them, you psych them, and it gets going. It will definitely get going. It will definitely click. So I just think that the first thing first is Eric has to first of all sort of like ease off. I know it's here for him. He has had enough the last 12 months. So he first of all has to sort of like find a way to get this thing, the load off his chest, and then see how he can unite the players, the coaches, everybody that work, the caterers, people in the kitchen and everybody. Have a proper team. Go out on that day of whatever. No training sessions today. Look, just go out. Just have a good time. I tell you, once the mood is on a high again, everybody's gonna play. You look at that team. Kobe Minor.
Thank you.
Minor is the
Thank you. Running out of time.
Yeah, best man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for joining me.
All right, man. Have a good night. I'll enjoy.
You too.